Hey there, creepy peeps, and welcome to another Exhumed movie review. Today we are talking about The Phantom Creeps. So The Phantom Creeps was, of course, requested by Melissa, who is on a mission to request all of the Bela Lugosi films for me, which I ain't even mad about. So she requested this movie as one of her perks for being a patron. So if you want to find out the other perks to being a creepy patron peep, you can follow that link in the description. And thank you so much to all of my patrons for your support of my channel. All right, so The Phantom Creeps is directed by Ford Beebe, don't know if I said that right, and Saul A. Goodkind. Stars Bela Lugosi, Robert Kent, and Dorothy Arnold, and follows Dr. Zorka, a rogue scientist and creator of various weapons of warfare, who is tattled on by his former colleague, Dr. Mallory, to the US government. The feds swoop in to take Zorka into custody, but an accident causes Zorka's wife to be killed, after which Zorka swears his vengeance on anyone who stands in his way. Alright, so I do have to mention I watched the movie version of The Phantom Creeps, which was released in 1949 on television. The movie was released on television and was an abridged version of the serial, which premiered in 1939 of the same name. So with that said, let's get into what I liked about The Phantom Creeps. Lugosi was awesome. I feel like I've bounced back and forth where I'm like, oh my god, this was such a great Lugosi performance, and I feel like he's just doing the Dracula thing. Like, can he do anything else? I'm convinced now it's probably the filmmakers that make him do like the Dracula thing, because you know, he was so popular playing that role back then that was probably a marketing tool to get people to come watch the whatever movie it was. He was awesome in the movie, and I feel like being a mad scientist like oddly suits him. I know everyone sees him as Dracula, but I don't know, he plays a mad scientist really well. This is like the second thing I've seen him in now where he's been a mad scientist, and I kind of dig it. I also think the movie could have been really good, which is gonna lead me into what I didn't like about The Phantom Creeps. So cutting down a 265-minute serial into a 78-minute movie was an awful idea. Like, I haven't even seen the serial and I already know like just so much important shit was missing in this abridged version. The movie feels like it's bouncing all over the place, no doubt due to the scenes that were cut to make it into the TV movie. Some of the cuts were so bad it had an hilarious effect, and I think the character that suffered the most from these cuts is the reporter, Jean Drew. Up until like the last 10 minutes of the movie, I feel like has nothing to do with anything other than popping up in random scenes and saying like, hey, I need to write this story, and then the feds just being like, take this woman away. And it's so fucking random, and then she'll just be in scenes where she's just in the background not saying anything and doesn't contribute anything, and I'm just kind of like, why is she here? Don't the feds like keep throwing her out? Like the scenes that they cut were like clearly, I feel like, were scenes where her character had a lot to do, and it just like had an hilarious effect where it just seems like the feds keep kicking her out so she can't write a story on it, but then like she'll be in the background of a scene when they're talking about important stuff and they know that she's there and she's just like there not contributing or anything. I'm just like, what the fuck is happening? Also, I gotta talk about the robot. I'm sorry, it's kind of just weird and hilarious. Like, why would you make a robot look like that? Hopefully I'm showing some clips or a picture over my face right now. Like, why wouldn't you make it look human? Like, or like, what's the point to make it look menacing? Like, why is it this like tiki headed thing? Like, why is it so freaking huge too? Like, I have so many questions. Why not just make it normal human sized? Plus, wouldn't that be easier for the person operating it, like who is no doubt in the costume making it move? Wouldn't it just be easier if it was human sized? While we're asking questions, where does the name The Phantom Creeper come from? Like, Zorka refers to himself as that in the movie at least one time. So I'm kind of just like, I mean, no doubt it's yet another part that was cut out from the serial where I'm sure that then makes sense, but in the movie it's just like random, and then he refers to himself as the Phantom Creeper or something like that, or the Phantom, and I'm just like, Did he just decide to call himself this? Is this his nickname for himself or what? We gotta ask ourselves, was The Phantom Creeps worth watching? Not in movie form, no. If you're gonna watch this, watch the serial version. I think that is also available on Amazon if I'm not mistaken. Don't watch the movie version. There's just so much cut out from it. Maybe you can watch it, you know, as something funny, because like there's so much cut from it that they're like, it's legitimately hilarious the way that things that don't make sense. But if you want to watch a story that I'm sure, again, I haven't seen it yet, but I'm sure it makes a whole lot more sense in the movie, then watch the serial version of it. I'm gonna give the movie version 2 out of 5 on IMDb. It has a 4.6 out of 10 on Rotten Tomatoes. It doesn't have a critic score, but audiences give it a 27%. And on Letterboxd, it has a 2.7 out of 5. So if you've seen The Phantom Creeps, movie or serial, let me know in the comment section down below what you thought about it, especially if you've seen both. So let me know, like, is the serial worth watching? Because that's a lot more of a time commitment, but if it's worth it, I will definitely check it out. I do hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you're new here and become a Creepy Peep today. I post videos Monday through Friday, and you can ring that notification bell down there to be notified every time I post a video. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, stay strange. Bye.